Okay. Get going a little bit early here. So, trading right now, it's a different environment, okay? A different environment. That's all you have to know. Where's Steve? Steve's not here. Don't see. Anthony. Panelists. Okay. Hold on a second. Okay. When Steve gets here, we'll put up some charts and we'll let you see. Let me see. He's always late, so let me go see.
Steve's always late.
Huh?
Steve's always late. Shows up to the party 20 minutes after it's over.
He's sitting there drinking away. Steve's drinking away. There you go. That's okay. That's okay. It's a Sunday. Look at the futures. Futures are down a little bit. Wait a second here. I'm trying to. Where's my show my screen? Somewhere on here. I just do Steve all the time, so I don't know how to do this. Show screen. Okay. Okay. What screen are you seeing?
See your Amazon chart.
Okay.
Desktop.
Okay. So it's the right. Yeah, it's the right one. Okay. Good. Okay, I get too many screens here, so that's what we know. Okay. So navigating crazy markets. These are crazy markets. People do great. People do bad. We have people making a tremendous amount of money. We have people sending me messages. Sam, I made 8K on Monday. I was up 3K on Tuesday. And it all went to shit by Wednesday. And I'm like, how can it all go to shit? Really? I'm serious. I'm serious. Well, you know why? Because it comes back to my original video that people have to watch. You have to know what your goals are. If your goals don't correlate, you will fail. You will fail. So here's something. I got a message Friday from people in the room, and I know some of you guys are not in the room. It's okay. I got a message Friday. Said, Sam, what do you think of the 1830s? I said, it looks like it's going to pop, but it's going into the weekend. It'll probably drop. So the guy buys calls for $1.50. They go to 380. And I said it could go down before the end of the week, and you had $1 billion to sell. So he doesn't sell, and the SPX drops, 14 in the next 5 minutes, and it goes to zero. And he had bought 10 of them. So he's up $2,000 that went to zero. His up $2,000, so a 3,500 position, goes to zero within 5 minutes. Okay? So what's the lesson? What's the lesson? Pretty easy, right? This is a trading market. One tweet, one news item, anything will destroy you. I'm telling you, you can do great if you have your goals aligned with what you want to do. I'm telling you, you will fail. I am positive that you will fail if you don't hedge or you wait 5 extra minutes. SPXs, 60 points out of the money are $5. They go to 10. An hour later, they're 1. Then they're 5 cents. Unbelievable. But it will happen over and over and over. So how do you play this? Well, you say, I'm buying less. I'm going to take my profit. I'm going to go into these SPXs 2830s, 2930s, and 1, and I'm good if I get a double for 150. I'm good at 3. I'm not waiting for 320. And then let's say it goes to 320 and then comes back to 2. Well, you bought them at 150. Get out of them at 2. Why are you going to sit there? Why are you going to sit there and let them go to 0? You got 5 minutes left in the trading day. You can't do that. You gotta trade them. The SPX went down to 28.19. Okay, and people were buying the 2,700. Now here's things you gotta learn. How often in your life? Now some of you are really old. Some of you are young whippersnappers. Some of you like me just act young. Okay, so how many times in your life does the SPX drop 100 points during the rest of the day? Explain that to me. The SPX is down 80. What was it, Tuesday? It's down 80. And another 70 points down expiring that day are $5. When's the last time you seen 150 down there? Have you ever seen one?
Never.
So see, so why are you going to bet on that? You know, I see people all the time telling me nonstop, all these pundits out there, that say, oh my God, the market's going to crash. We got people out there, people like what Northman Trader have been saying for 10 years, the market's going to crash. 10 years. 10 years. How many times has it gone down 200 points? It doesn't. It doesn't. So it's one thing to say, well, we're in a decline that's going to over a couple of weeks. Okay. But you can't be buying stuff that's going to get you in trouble. Okay. Now here's the next thing. There's high flyers. And people really fail on the high flyers. Amazon, Google, Netflix, Shop, TTD. Why? And TTD gets us in sometimes. Complete breakout, breaks every number, breaks every chart pattern. Every single chart pattern, and most of the time, if you go ask 10 people on the chart, 5 will tell you one way, 5 will tell you the other. There's no real way to read a chart, okay? Trust me. You can read it. If you're reading Steve's chart, and I think Steve does, I don't know, 5-day, 10-hour, 5-day, 1 hour, I don't know what he does. But here's the thing. Okay, 10-day, 1 hour. So here's the thing. With Steve's 10-day, 1 hour chart, Steve will tell you, oh my God, it's through the cloud. If I go put up a 30-day, 1 hour, my cloud looks different. What's the right cloud? I don't know. I'm not smart enough to know this because I don't trade with it. But here's the thing. So if you're trading off charts, depending on how you set it up, is what you see, right? It's what you see. Now, Steve has probably figured out that this one works the best for him, and that's great, right? But it's hilarious to me, but I'll put up some stuff every once in a while. People will send me stuff, and I'm like, well, what is it? Well, this correlates to this. Well, okay, it does. It can. And it may be perfect for now while the market's doing what it's doing. But the big boys, Amazon, Google, all these things. I mean, look at Google. So here's the thing. If you shorted Google and Amazon every single day that it popped 20 or 30 in the last 2 weeks, you're incredibly wealthy. You're incredibly wealthy. So we bought some Google, the 1200s, did great on it, rolled up. The roll-up goes to shit immediately because it goes down 15. If you shorted it right there, you caught a 2 to 20, right? So what I'm trying to tell you is trade them, trade with profits, and it doesn't matter. Now, what Steve does, and Anthony is here too. Anthony is running his own little fund here, so he'll tell us how he's doing stuff and what he sees here in a minute. But Steve, does some things. I don't agree with the stuff Steve does because it doesn't work for me, but it works for him. So if it works for him and he makes money, man, Mrs. Steve is all happy. Mrs. Steve is happy. She's like, I'm not going to make you eat beyond me today. I'm going to get you a real estate. Okay? So Steve will buy some stuff. He'll buy something like a shop at 1, and he'll sell it at 5. And I'm saying if Sam bought it at 1, he would probably let it run to see if I can get more. But if it went to 3, I would probably sell it before it got to share. Okay? So very, very interesting. You have to come up with your goal. So Steve is, he's very good at, hey, I want $3. I'm taking $3. That's it. I don't care if it goes to 100. He does that. And if you do that enough, you do well, right? You do well. Everybody is different. The thing that nobody can figure out, oh my God, I got to do what Anthony does. He's up 10% this week. How can you do what Anthony does? You don't know if Anthony's playing with $20 or $5 million. You don't know. How do you know? How do you know if he has risk tolerance or he's Jeff Bezos' nephew? He just hasn't told us. He's Jeff Bezos' nephew. He can do whatever he wants, right? He's on the yacht trading. He's not even telling us he's on that $200 million yacht. Okay? So you don't know. So how can you follow somebody on Twitter at all? You don't know what their goal is. You have no idea what their goal is. Right? All about goals. In this market, you have to take your profit. Because if something hits, say Google hits $10, and then it goes to 9, and we see this all the time. Well, I'm going to wait for 10 again, see if it breaks. And then it's 6. Well, okay, I'll take 7. And then it goes to 4. Well, okay, I'm putting it in at 5. Because you want that extra $1, but you didn't take 9. And it goes to shit. It just does. So how are you going to get better? Well, you're going to go in there and you're going to buy less right away. And then you're going to trade it. Because that's the market you got. Now, I haven't even looked at futures yet, but let me look here. What is it? They're up a point. They're up a point. Okay? So, nothing. Really meaningless. Where do we go tonight? I have no idea. What I know is there's an event that's going to happen on Wednesday, which is the VIX. This is really interesting. So be ready for this. The market is going to move 50 to 80 points by then. Wow, Sam, that's a crazy statement. Why? Because the VIX, either they're going to buy it like crazy and take it way higher into expiration. I mean, way lower into expiration if they buy it. Or they're gonna just sell it off and the market's gonna go the other way. Right up. Right? It's gonna impact it. We haven't had this event in quite a while. So, but Steve will tell you sometimes, he tells you the MAC indicator, large range day. How about Powell? Powell comes on, and we're up 30 handles, and then straight down. We're up 30 handles and Trump tweets, and Sam's trying to buy puts 50 points out of the money. They go from $0.10 to 70 cents to $1 to $10. $1 to $10. I'm trying to buy 100 of them. And I'm like, there's no way I can pay 10. They want to 20. But you can't pay 10 because as soon as you buy it, your 100 grand is worth 10 grand. You can't do that. Your 10K is worth 1K. So you don't do that. And then you just got to sit because then they go 2 to 10, 4 to 10, 8 to 10, 9 to 10, and then they go 5 to 6 as the market starts coming back. And then it goes back down. And then you're down 60. Trade it, trade it, trade it. If you go to the bathroom and you come back, you can get screwed. You can get screwed. I'm telling you. don't have 10 positions. It's hard. How do you get out of 10 positions at the same time? You can't. You can't. Pick your goals, what you're trying to make, find the right things. Mr. Steve, give us your expertise on how to trade a volatile market.
Well, two things that you can do on a volatile market is, number one, of course, you have to have a goal when you enter a trade. So if you buy and shop, like I did at 175, and then my goal was to get 590. Now, if I held it for 2 more days, it went to 20, and that happens, you know, a number of times. But there's plenty of times where you don't take the 590 and it goes to 0. So when do I hold for the 20? When we have a market where we don't have as many outside influences, whether it's Powell or Trump or BREDX or China or you know, Iran. There's times when there's not a lot of that going on and the market moves steadily up or steadily down. Then you can let these things extend. When you're in a choppy market, you know, set your goals. There's a lot of times that, for example, if I had, let's say, 10 of those, I might take 5 and see, then I've got my money plus some, and then I might let the rest ride. It just depends on, I look at where the markets, whether it's overbought or oversold, or in the neutral zone. Like Sam was saying, we had a large range day called for Thursday. Actually, Friday we had a pretty big move from the stock to bottom, so it was for Friday that it actually came in. So I look for those, and that's pretty much what I'm doing. I'm not letting things go to 0, and I buy less also. I'm not, as far as I don't have 6 or 8 different positions on. I'm usually 1, 2, or 3 max when we have a very choppy market.
Okay, so we had some people that we had Google and made a lot of money on Google, a lot of money, and I had met one of the guys, met up and talked to him, and he said, you know, I took almost all the money out of my account, not half, almost all of it out of my account. I'm going to be happy for a few days. So you make 100 grand, 200 grand, you know, from 20K. Be happy for a little while before you give it all back, right? Give it all back. Think about the people that had Google. They bought Google at 7. We bought them at 5 because we bought earnings week. They added a week and got the following week. And their option from 7 goes to 65 to 80, all the way to 80. 7 to 80. You know, those closed at zeros. They closed at 0. Because Google the week after went straight down, right? 6 days in a row. 6 days in a row. Sub 200. So how can you take something from 80 to 0? Is it possible? Absolutely it's possible, because let me tell you, I've done it in 1992, 1991. Many years ago. I would sit there and say, well, shit, it was 80, now it's 10, screw it. I'm going to let it go to 0. Gambler mentality. Can't do that. Don't do it anymore, but you can't do that, right? Anthony, tell us your strategy, buddy.
Hey, Sam. So I do a few things because I've got to run the fund and I got to keep risk tolerance pretty low. So all the options that I do in chat, I don't do too huge amounts, but what I have been doing a lot of, because every day we're getting a 30 to 50 plus point swing. So I'm buying, you know, a few puts on things like Apple and Nvidia, and then buying calls on things that could be high flyers the next day, or if they did good on earnings, things like Shock that just kept on going against the market and just didn't care. Those kind of things. But I'm in and out. I'm watching the positions closely, and I'm not going in anything too long. Nothing. Like, I'm expecting to lose everything I put in on any of those positions, because even on Friday we got that quick drop, that trapdoor Steve called brilliantly. This one, Steve. But yeah, that's exactly like that. I had Google's all day long there. Google was down like 18. I started adding the 1200s, and then I played those from 2 to 4, sold those, so I already had those free, and I kept using that $2 back in again and again. It went down to like 1185. I got the 1195s, 1197s, and that quick spike in a day. I sold the 1195s, the 1197s, and I kept the 200s, and they went worthless. But I've already made 4 other trades. Those are more than free. So that's kind of what I'm doing. I did buy a good amount of a good bit of my fund at around like 1832, 1852 levels. In between there, I started accumulating because I'm just selling premium and hedging with like some Apple puts, and everything I have in the fund right now is pretty SPX tracking. So the Apple, we know that that's going to be the biggest decline if anything's like Huawei news or China tariffs. That's going to hit Apple or Nvidia the most. So I'm usually hedging with those two as puts, and then premium's insane. So I'm just selling on the other side. I'm selling MasterCard puts for $5. It's insane. So great premium if you're a seller on SPX tracking stocks that don't move too much, and then you easy hedge. It's really cheap too. You make way more on the cover call side, and then just trade those options quick on the other half of the fund, and things are going really well in that way. But I would definitely say limit position size and trade it, just to pick a few stocks to trade that day, unless something hits news, because everything just starts trading differently. You can kind of notice better, get a better handle on what's really going on in the market.
And the bigger thing is very important too, is that if you have 5 positions and Trump tweets, there's no way you can get out of 5.
You can't get out.
There's just no way, right? And then you get beat up. Can't get beat up. The whole goal is don't get beat up. Make some money, be okay, and see what happens. See what happens. Okay. For this week, all we know is you're going to get huge moves. You're going to get huge moves because this is not going to stop now. Goldman Sachs came out today, and I haven't seen a brokerage do this. Now, I flip-flop on a dime, I mean, I can go from calls to puts to calls to everything. And, one day I'm ready for SPX to go 100, and 5 minutes after news, I'm like, we're going negative. And because it doesn't matter what you believe or what position you have. It's what's happening with the market, right? You got to know what's happening with the market, right? And Goldman Sachs came out and they said, well, the market's going to go up till the end of the year. And now they came out today and said, now we're going to go to a recession. They changed their tune. I haven't seen that in a long time. So just know that. But also know the market doesn't crash every day. It doesn't even go down 50 points every day. Historical, 20 points out of the money, 20 cents. 20 cents on SPX. Not $1 or $2 or $3. I mean, 2 months ago, the SPX, 5 points up were $1, 5 points down were 30 cents. 30 cents for the whole day. Now 80 points down are $1. 80 points down is $1. How are you going to make money? Right? How are you going to make money? Because, and you can buy them for $1 and they'll go to 2 in 2 minutes, and then they'll go to 5 cents. So you better sell. So, okay. What else you got, Mr. Steve? Give us words. Any other words for this week? What do you think's going on?
I think it's more of the same. You just got to be prepared for everything. You got to be smaller. You can't be spread across the board. In other words, have too many positions and too many stocks. And you've got to watch the news and see what's happening. The news trumps everything right now. So
yeah,
absolutely.
Okay. Let's take some questions. If you got questions on specific stocks or questions about trading or questions about whatever, type them in and we can try to answer some of them, right? What's your watch list for this week? Watch list for the big boys. Why? Because I like to make bigger money, I like the bigger moves. But here's the thing you got to watch. Watch Apple. If Apple at 10%, everybody says it's at 190, 185. If the 10% tariffs go into play, right? If the tariffs go to 25%, or if the China thing picks up rhetoric and it's going to get bad, or if Hong Kong gets invaded, Apple is going to get 25% tariffs, and this stock goes down the most of all of them. It'll go down more than, because they have a known commodity. They have a known issue, right? They have a known issue of how much they're going to lose with the more tariffs. So that's the tell. That was the other day when the SPX was way down. I said, this isn't real. Why? Because Apple was down $1. How is it real if there's going to be bad news in China that Apple's not unaffected? It's not. It's affected the most. Okay. SPX ratio, not going to explain that. I will do that for members, not going to explain that one. Dan is asking, what do you look at before you enter a trade? So what I look at is 3X. I look at that option and I look at my numbers. And if I say I like Google, it's say the 1200s or $4. So I times it by 3 and say, can it get to up 12? It'd have to be $12 in the money, right? Because your 3 has to go, your 4 has to go to 12, right? If I don't think Google can get that far, I don't buy. You are going to have, if you're an option player, you're going to have your losses. So if you lose on 3 different plays, you sure need a 3X or 4X to catch it. That's what I do. Now, Steve does it differently. I'm sure Anthony does it completely differently because he's buying a lot of stock. And we have a lot of big players that buy stock. Sam says he's buying Google calls. And they're like, well, shit, if Sam's buying Google calls, Sam can't make any money unless Google goes up, so I'm going to buy Google stock. Happens all the time. What's wrong with that? Nothing wrong with that. That's what lots of people do. Okay? Lots of people. Things not to do with the big boy. If Amazon is down 100 yesterday and he's down 50 today and he moves up 10 points, so you're down 150 and it pops 10 and people are like, oh my God, Amazon bottom. It's down 150 and it's up 10. How is it better? Right? How is it better? It's not better. We've seen people buying some GTD on Friday when it took off, and I'm like, wait a second here. It just dropped 10. Now it dropped 15 and dropped 20. I'm going to take a shot at TT. Why you not wait? Patience. In this market, before any other market, you need patience. BYND, what is the direction this week? All I know is somebody was saying that there's massive calls at 300. It's not getting to 300. It's got zero chance to get to 300. Those people are just stupid. Okay? There's nothing they can do to get it to 300. Okay? That's just dumb. Okay? And let me tell you, it is going to go, when this thing craps out, it's going to go to $60, $50, $40. Okay? I mean, and it's going to crap out. Now, it may not crap out till they have the lockup, and then it'll crap out like Tillery did. I see people in the other day, people sending me about, oh my God, what about Tillery? I'm like, what has Tillery done in the last 9 months? It doesn't do nothing. It doesn't even move. Why are you paying Tillery? Take it off your screen, put it on a do not touch this. Do not touch this. Okay? Very still. Where do gorilla numbers come from? Can't tell you that. We're coding it up.
Sam,
Go ahead.
got one thing to add. Yeah, I think people have to make sure that they look at the overall market before they start placing call trades, this and that. We're doing a lot of ping ponging between big numbers, and people don't even know where they come from, but you always post them, so people can just look at that before you see if something's getting hard to break. You can buy SPX 2832, buy calls and puts if they're cheap on anything, and you're gonna get a big move on that too. So make sure you look before, because I see a lot of people buying at these big numbers, And I started buying puts sometimes at these big numbers. They TTD 280, like 282, 289. You can buy puts right there, easy. And started selling premium also. So make sure to look at the overall, SPX numbers too before you're deciding.
Absolutely, absolutely. Thoughts on that Juan fix tonight? I don't know. All I know is SPX is one. If they fix that at 7.06 or something, this thing's going to be down 50 versus the other way. I don't know. All I know is we don't have a lot of stuff coming in this week, but we're floored. This is a different market, different market, different market. Okay, you can do very well if you're ready, but you're not going to do very well on 10 stocks, right? Unless the market goes way up or the market goes way down, right? Who knows? The news, every single big winner has gone down except for two. Shop held up and went higher, and Roku has held up and went higher. Every other winner, Google down 100. Every other winner that was good has come back down, right? Came back down. So just know that. So how can you go that far out? You can't go that far out. Okay, more questions. Get ready for BA. Yes, BA is going to move. I can't tell you which way, but I know if they stop production, this stock is at 260. I am 80% sure this trades to 269 if they stop production of the MAX. Now, vice versa. If they come out and say everything's approved, this thing will hit 390, 400, then go back down. So why is stopping production bad? Because I told everybody this wasn't going to fly in 2019. I don't think it's going to fly till late 2020. Because here's my thing. I used to, the program manager, et cetera, and I'd call people in and said, show me your schedule. And they have the schedule. They have these monster schedules, and it says, okay, software will be done here. It's going to take 8 weeks to test it here. Then we're going to submit it to the FAA here. Where is that schedule? Nobody has. They don't even ask them. People on CNBC are idiots. They don't even ask. What is your schedule for the software fix? When will it be available? If they come out and say, we don't know, then you pummel the CEO and the stock. So be ready. Boeing will go low. And it will go lower a lot if they come out with news. CMG, another big winner, fake train. Yes, CMG. Here's CMG. Every single time it goes down 10 or 15, it ends up for the day. And it just goes. Great stock. Yeah. Thoughts on VXX holding calls? See, I don't really look at those because they get so out of whack. I trade where I can make a significant. I'm not looking to make 20%. I'm looking on my trades to make 300, 500, 800%. So I trade different. But that's me and my account. You cannot copy. You cannot copy Steve. You cannot copy Anthony. Everybody is different. Go ahead.
Yeah, Sam. So I was looking last time the market was coming down back in December. I pretty much nailed the bottom right at 2370s because I think overall big market, SPX, huge things like that control everything have a lot to do with just like visual. I don't think the whole technical analysis, but like visual cues that are like the standard trend line, those big triangle pennants. I did a research paper on that at school. I found that those are like some of the ones that really, like for overall arching indicators like SPX, those work a lot of the time, and that's why we bought them right there at that trend line. So I just want people to know that the next bottom on that, like let's say tomorrow we go back and touch that trend line, it's about 2440, and by September it's about 2480. So that's where I think we can look to see. That's exactly the same pattern. Bitcoin followed. SPX has done that since 2008. That's since 2008 trend line, hasn't broken yet. So if we're under that, that's definitely cause for more concern, just for the overall, for all the institutions, everyone else who looks at it, and they do play off of that at some point. So just want to throw that out there.
Absolutely. Okay. How do you determine fair value? Can't tell you that. You have to put the program is about 75% written. Gee, you can't believe how much data this is. We're freaking paying Amazon 200 grand already. Jesus, massive. Just for data storage. I mean, this Amazon Web Services gonna have to revisit that pricing. What's the direction of beyond? We talked about that. Can you explain SPX ratio? We will do that tomorrow for room members. What do you look at? We talked about that. What is a good sector to focus on? Well, let me tell you, you have to see what Trump does. This is based on what he says. If he's coming after tariffs, then every single company in the retail side is affected huge. If he goes to 25%, the retail sector for that day or two will get whacked. Okay? Biosector thought. Bio is what Amgen really took off, but the bio still had this issue, right? They still had this issue. Trump is supposed to be putting out this executive order and stuff. Where's that? No idea where that is, right? We have to see. Just know that on any particular day, if that comes out, the whole biosector is going to get killed. Crowd, CRWD, love stock did not get destroyed in the downturn. Love stock. But let me tell you, in 2001, when all the love stocks failed, they went down for a long time and didn't come back. Are they going to fail? I can't tell you that right now. Don't know. Amazon needs 1900 to really be strong. So just wait. Just wait. Just wait. Please explain what you call a trap door, Steve. Trap door. Tell us what you. When the wifey comes home and says, "Do you want to go to my mom's or do you not want to go?" And that's a trap door based on your answer. Go ahead, Mr. Steve. You there, Steve?
All right, yeah. So if you've ever, being a sailor, we all know about history, and the history of where a lot of sailors came from is that they would be in a bar or a house full of ladies, and they would stand over a spot, walk over a spot, and they'd pull the rope, and the area, the little hatch there would open, and they would drop down into the water. And in a lot of port cities, Portland, Seattle did a lot of that. So they were Shanghai, and they were ended up on ships. So that's a trap door. It opens, and you drop, boom, you're down. And so a trap door pattern might be, let's say that if we've got this area right here, once it comes through there, then it's just going to open and free fall. That's what happened at the close. I see those patterns. I can't describe what they look like or how I do them. If you're in the room, I call them out. I say, okay, we got to trap down. It doesn't happen very often, but when it does, it's very rewarding. The SPX calls, puts rather on Friday that most of the room got into, hit a low of 135 just before the door opened, and they finished at 1135. So pretty good risk reward on that. You didn't have to buy a lot to make a pretty good day, pretty good living. But that's a trap door, or you want to look up Shanghai and see the history. A lot of people don't know history. I'm a history buff, so constantly throwing history stuff in the room. That's it.
And then, I'm sorry, NVIDIA. NVIDIA, he says, the CEO comes on last time, stocks up 10, and then he says something dumb, right? Just something dumb. Can't trust these guys. Some of the guys you can't trust, the CEOs, because it's like the Caterpillar CEO. Doesn't matter. The Caterpillar CEO comes out on Kramer and says, we have changed our company. We are not dependent on China. Then he comes out and misses. He's dependent on China. What the hell is that all about? Right? What is that all about? Anthony's great. Thank you very much. We can have him on the call. Can BKNG hit 2K? So BKNG, Kramer said the conference call was the best call he's ever heard from them. That they said everything is growing. People are traveling. Look, people are traveling. This is a fact, right? They're traveling, and they're paying more. They're paying more for tickets and hotel rooms and everything else. Could they stop production and run tests on planes they have already to go currently? Well, there are no planes ready to go because there's been no fix that's been implemented. And every single one that has a fix, and they're all going to have to be retested. That's it. There's no way you test one plane and say we did it on all of them and you didn't test it. It won't work. I mean, because if Boeing, let me tell you the one fact, I am absolutely positive Boeing is sub 100. It is under 100. If this plane takes off and has a crash in the first month, it's gone. The company is gone. I'm telling you. And so it cannot have another crash. So maybe it doesn't come out for another 6 months. Still need to do it. Does Bitcoin and .com, it looks very close to Bitcoin and .com. Absolutely. Things, I'm telling you, I posted out there yesterday for the first time in 10 years. I'm more slowly thinking that, they've screwed this up and it's not going to get better. The Fed is going to come out in 2 weeks, next week, in Jackson Hole and say something dumb. I'm telling you, he's going to say something dumb. He is. 9 out of 10 times. He said something dumb. Okay, that's trapdoor. I'm in for the 2,900 puts. Don't know. We'll see. SPX just went negative.
I got it. I got some 2,900s at 5 on Friday just to hedge my portfolio. They closed at 7. They were moving like crazy. I think the ask went to 10 for a second. Insane.
Yep. Well,
also,
we have somebody in the room that's been buying way down. I mean, 50 and 70 points down on SPX for every expiration that comes up. And they're doing very, very good. Very good. Now, a couple of them don't work, but a whole bunch of them are gone 2 to 50, 2 to 70, 2 to 40. And when that happens more than one, you're doing pretty good. You're doing pretty good.
Yeah, and on Bitcoin there, for everyone who's watching that, I've been calling those like little dip bottoms. I call like the first one around like 5,500, those ones. I think the next one's probably just right at 10,000. Bitcoin's another thing. I analyze hundreds of those charts, and that thing is just follows, unless news obviously, but just follows the standard, just like you're looking at it with your eye, triangle pennant shape kind of thing following up. So it looks like 10,000 would be a good add. Under 10,000 at this time would probably just be going lower. But once again, things are just so bad that Hong Kong, you could probably just start adding. If it's going to go back down to 10, start adding there, and you can get yourself a nice size in there. I'm starting to add GBTC. It's how you can play it. It's an OTC ETF, but they've got only 25% premium. Any other ETF for Ethereum Classics, 50, 100% premium. Crazy. So GBTC would probably be your best bet unless you want to actually go out and buy the real Bitcoin. BTC.
Do you think there's a fundamental change to the market and we go lower and lower and lower? So I think if September 1st he does tariffs and the meeting and you do not get a ceasefire.
GB, sorry, Steve. G, then D. Yeah.
Baker.
Yeah.
There you go. So if you don't get a ceasefire and he goes to 25%, I think you're going to have a drop of ages because I think the Fed is going to screw this up. But then there's one other thought. If he does 25% on everything, is there anything else where he can go any more? Is it all factored, right? Do we go drop to 2,700, 2,500, 2,400, and then it's all done? It's just, it doesn't get any worse. Who knows? Don't know. But very possible, right? Very possible. I'm hearing people are telling me that they think Powell is going to cut at Jackson Hole. Not a Fed meeting. Does he? Maybe. Don't know. Overstock, I don't like the CEO. I don't like the CEO. The guy lied. He lied nonstop for a month. While his stock was going from 40 to 50 to 60 to 70, 80, 90, he lied every single day. We're going to allow people to trade stocks, and we'll be ready in 4 weeks. You can develop all this stuff easy. That's why these platforms are so good. And it's been two years. It's been 2 years. He's not even close to getting ready. So right now it's in a squeeze. Yeah, can it go? Absolutely can go. Well, a squeeze is a squeeze. When it goes, right? Can happen. So keep an eye on that. That can happen. Okay, let me see what else. Well, any other questions? CRM. Well, part of the cloud stocks. They're doing pretty good. They're holding. But just be careful because when things drop, they will drop fast. And in 2001, they never came back for 10 years. Amazon didn't come back for 7 years. 7 years. Didn't come back. Okay? Talk about Shop. Shop is on fire. What a machine. It's at 270. But here's what I know. When Shop hit 330, and then we had a little downturn in the market. It went down 55 points. 55. So if you take that to Shop now, 55 points, plus you add a little bit, you're probably at 310. And you don't short this till it's down at least 10 or 12. But then you do. You just wait and wait. But it can't be only Shop down. It has to be everything. But then it may come back first. Now, what Shop does is everybody that wants to sell, they use a Shop software and they're set up instantaneously. Gold and gold miners. Gold is going higher. As more turmoil in the world, gold goes higher, silver goes higher. There you go. I'm going to have to get my necklace back. Where are my necklaces? Okay. TLT. As the rates drop, they're going to go way low. How low do the rates drop? I don't know. But they can go a long, long way. Let me tell you, this SPX would not surprise me to be down 25 points tonight. 25. I just don't understand why some of the things didn't drop as far as they should have on Friday. They're just holding. Keep an eye on your IPO crowd, Chewy. They move nicely. Don't know about the option. Absolutely. They're moving pretty nicely and they're holding. They're holding okay. The WAN fix tonight, very important. What else you got for us, Steve? Anything else?
No, that's it.
Okay, Mr. Anthony, anything else? Anthony runs a fund. You guys know that. He's in the room. You can give some of your information. Just text it to him or, follow him on Twitter and he'll let you know if you're interested in his fund or anything. If you're interested in us, sign up. We're doing free morning calls with sign up to chat. There you go.
Thank you, Sam. Yeah, I think just looking at futures now, futures down about 4. I think 2,900 was a pretty strong level. So I think under there definitely is a flush, but 2,952, that's the breakout level right there. So if we get over there, I think we could easily go to 3K this week. I think we're just going to have to play in ranges until news comes. News flows is so minimal.
People are saying that this VIX, because there's so many open interest on them on both sides, that you're going to see this epic move. Anthony's Twitter handle. Anthony. Oh, actually, I'll tweet him and you can get it off mine. Okay. You can
Thank
get
you,
it off
Sam.
mine. That's the easiest way to do it. Okay, that's what we know. Thank you, Mr. Steve. Thank you, Anthony. Everybody have a great trading week. See you in chat. Oh, does Roku become the next Netflix? Very possible. Very possible. But it can go to 160. Everybody have a great trade.